Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Conversations. I'm Caster MJ with Caster's Corner. Along with me, I have my two co-hosts, Deadly.
What's up?
And the One-Eyed Crow.
How's it going?
Before we hop into the topics this week, guys, I'd just like to remind everybody that this podcast is sponsored by Immortal Workshop. You'll be able to find his link down in the description below. That's an affiliate link. Or if you just go to immortalworkshop.com and use code Caster's Corner at checkout, that will let him know that you came from us. This week, we got some topics that are pretty relevant. The first one that we're going to just hop into is kind of what happened the past weekend. A few things dropped. There was a conference in New York City, NYCC. I know a lot of people went. I myself was not able to go, but we're going to just talk about some things that happened that weekend and some products that dropped that are pretty relevant to, collectors and players alike. So the first thing that happened was that the tarot cards dropped for Metazoo.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those, again, that's something that both, I think, players and collectors are going to be interested in. Now, Ian, do you have any information on that? You want to explain why maybe both parties might be interested in that product?
The first thing is the black bordered ones, the sample cards, right? So those first showed up at Long Beach Conic-con, where people got to have a few. Really, they didn't give a lot out at Long Beach. You had to win them with a spin wheel, or you had to guess the suit from Andy, and then if you got it right, you had a 1 in 4 chance. Got it right, you got to keep it, right? At NYCC, they decided to give out a lot of what was left to the first people in line. I think the first day they only gave out 25, and it was the first 25 people. But there was some head rush and I guess some confusion and whatnot. People weren't too happy. They gave out 30 every other day, 5 to VIPs, and then still 25. But it was incredibly popular. Obviously, when you have something you're giving away for free that's worth essentially $500 is what they're going for, like minimum. People are going to fight over it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I thought that there was a little fight that broke out.
Yeah.
Or something I heard through the grapevine.
I don't think there was an official fight, from my understanding.
It just got heated,
I think it was close. So yeah, that's the big collectability aspect of the tarot cards. On top of the one holo tarot card that'll be in each box.
Yeah, and that's cool. I'm
That is
excited
pretty
for
cool.
that. I actually didn't buy that much.
Go
About
ahead,
one.
Ian.
I was just going to say that the black border tarot cards, they have one deck left. There's 77 cards in a deck. Of all the, I think it was 5,000 print run, of all the 5,000 boxes, so 77 will be randomly seeded into the tarot card boxes. So 77 boxes will have a black bordered as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually missed out on that drop, so I did not get any, unfortunately. I'll probably end up having to pick up a few of those on the secondary market.
Known as Immortal Workshop.
As I often do, But yeah, so I'm interested in them though because of the playability in them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know I don't think you need official Metazoo cards to use the effect for the tarot cards.
I confirmed that in the MZO chat. You don't actually need the official Metazoo ones, which would be insane if you did, because there's only 5,000 boxes.
Yeah, but I think it would be much cooler if you did use them, for sure.
That's
so,
that's the goal.
That's why I bought the one.
Yeah. So I know there's definitely cards that I want to play around with in the Seance set.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to use Metazoo tarot cards with my deck if possible. So, like I said, I'm going to have to scoop some of those up on the aftermarket probably. I just couldn't grab them at the time being,
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool thing that Metazoo's doing that's like perfect for the time of the year. I think it goes with, the whole, theme of like the spookiness and everything like that. The crystal ball for Seance, all that stuff. like what a better set to drop everything with, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the next thing is
there with Seance. There are a few cards that actually require the tarot cards. To use effectively. Most of them have an effect that if you show the tarot card, you can contract it at any time. There are a few. Yeah. There are a few that it actually kind of negates one or both of the effects. I forgot the ones off the top of my head. I think death is one of them, where in order to use the first effect on the death card, you need to contract it on your opponent's turn, technically.
Yeah, we that's one that we went over in the spoiler episode, I believe.
Right.
I think there was two of them that we went over in that episode.
I don't think that one we did, right?
I don't think that was one of them. I think it was like the Hierophant or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I honestly have not read all the cards from Seance yet.
That's why I haven't really kind of, because I would have gone right off and said what the card does and everything. There you go. He's ahead of the game.
I will not spoil it. I will not spoil it for you.
I've read a lot of the big ones. I mean, even like I've gone on Metazoo HQ and like I looked at the first, like I said, the big ones. You know, the first like what is it, 50, and probably even less, 30 or something like that, where they're all the gold rares basically.
Yeah.
But after that, I pretty much have not looked at them yet. And honestly, I was on Caster Society today looking at the cards to build a deck and stuff like that. How you can filter out the cards and everything.
Yeah.
I was kind of upset that those cards were there. I'm like, I'm not ready for this yet.
I don't want to see this.
I'm getting prepared for a tournament for Saturday where we can't use it, so I don't want to see that yet and like mess everything up in my head right now that I got going on.
You got to go down to the filter and click everything but Seance. You got to invert the filter.
Yeah, for real.
So those cards though, the world, the Hierophant, death. There isn't a ruling. There isn't a decision yet whether or not you need to have the death card claimed as your fourth wall or just tarot cards.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Claimed.
I
that
feel like
is still being debated.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
So I feel like that
name specific.
That one could fall under the category of like if you like added, so there's like characteristics. Then I believe like being like a mother or something. I don't think that one's legal.
Yeah.
But fall into being, I don't know. I feel like they may allow you to add it to like an extra one, but
I see where that could draw some questions because there's multiples of these cards, as we know.
Exactly.
So
what if you want to play all four of them?
That's my thing. For Hopkinsville Goblin, you can only use the coin one time, right?
Yeah.
So can you reuse this tarot card now multiple times? And then with that too, like if you're using multiple different cards that are different tarot cards, like you're gonna just use all fourth walls on just that ability to play those cards. You know what I mean?
Be like, what's your fourth wall? All four tarot cards.
That's right. That's actually why I hope it's just,
it doesn't leave room for a stone, a radio, anything else. So
honestly, I hope it's you get to claim your deck of tarot cards. So
next thing I think that we're going to move on to are that at NYCC there was a bunch of promo cards.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Now I do.
Okay.
You might have been frozen for a second there or something.
Yeah, no.
I was trying to talk for the longest time, and then you guys just cut me off. Like, okay.
We've officially started to ignore you. We're like, no, we don't care what you have anything to say.
It's about time you took the hint, Ian. Okay.
Whoopsies.
No, I guess our internet just lagged out for a second there or something.
Must have been mine if you both couldn't hear me, but you could hear each other.
Yeah, I guess so. What were you trying to say? My bad. I'm sorry. Before we go on to promo cards.
I was trying to say that I hope that the claimable fourth wall item is actually the deck of tarot cards, because if you're claiming the death tarot card specifically, your opponent knows what's in your deck.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's some implications to how that's actually going to be treated as the fourth wall.
But I mean, if I claim light bulb in my deck, it's in my deck.
That's true. Thinking about your coin, just because you use light bulb on one catch doesn't mean that the light bulb goes away either.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
But I'd rather have it be a surprise because I think some of those tarot cards could be used.
The reason that I guess you're right. No, I'm not even gonna. Doesn't make sense what I was about to say, so I'm just not gonna say it.
All right.
I thought about it first. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So.
Don't waste our time.
It was about fourth walls, but no. But yeah, so we'll go on to the promos now. Now I don't honestly know all the promos off the top of my head that were at NYCC.
I just know the one playable one.
Yes.
The one playable.
Is that where I come in?
I know the one that's important to me, which is
Join
the playable
Seance.
one,
Yeah.
which is Join the Seance. And I know when I saw that, I was like, I need to get my hands on this. That's something that I thought immediately. I think it's going to be a very playable card. I think we're going to see it in decks. I think people who got their hands on it, if they're not going to be playing it, they'll be able to sell it. So if you're a collector or somebody who's into buying and selling and stuff like that,
that's
a
easily
good card for you to pick up.
Easily put into a spell book. So people are going to probably spend a couple extra bucks to get one.
But during this conference, Metazoo did what Metazoo does the best, and it had promo cards all throughout the conference. And the way they did it this time, which I thought was pretty cool, honestly, was that their partners who had booths at the conference had their own promo card. And if you went around to the partnered booths with your Metazoo passport, they stamped your passport, they gave you the promo card. And if you were able to go around to all of the partners and get all the stamps, you then earned a completion promo card, essentially, for hey, congratulations, you went around and completed and got all the promos from all of our partners throughout this convention. And I think that was a real cool idea. It's a great way for business marketing, for just because I like Metazoo, I'm now going to go visit all these other businesses. And that's just a brilliant idea in my opinion. Now, Ian, I'm just going to put you on the spot. Do you know these promos by chance, or?
I do.
So you mind telling us?
No, I don't want to. No, there were 6. So there was the eBay one, obviously, that was, I believe, done by Isaac Sky Lee, had Walking Sam on it. There was the Pin Club, which was Bunny Man, done by Poncho. Another Poncho one was CGC, that was Jersey Devil. Yet another Poncho one was Golden, with the UFO. I don't remember off the top of my head who did the PSA, but that was Golden Bear. And the last one was What's Your Passion? And that was done by Andy and Afton. That one has the Andy's Chaos Crystal. And it has actually a really cool background on it with these shards shattering. It's a really beautiful card. Those
out of those, which was your favorite? Because I do have an opinion, because none of them are playable, you know what I mean? So it's all just artwork,
Oh yeah, definitely the Andy Afton, the What's Your Passion one.
I like that one a lot as well. I also like the Golden Bear one too for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Deadly, which ones do you like? I'm sure you've seen them.
It's Join the Seance. I mean, that one's super cool. It's got
the out of the partner non-playable ones. Which artwork did you like the best?
I didn't look too deep into them. I know I'm a loser. I think.
Wow.
He's like, I don't care about these.
No, I mean, I glanced at them, and you're naming who did the art. I think I saw the Golden Bear one, but I think there was I think all I really saw was one with Mike Waddell just sitting there in the car, just standing
That's
there.
his business.
Yeah,
his business.
I know, but that's really the only ones I kind of. I guess I didn't see the partnered promo ones.
You got Deadly over there paying attention to the guy. He's like, not playable. Who cares?
I'll wait for the part of the show where we talk about cards that actually matter to the game.
He's been like that since we got into Metazoo. He really has been. I don't remember what card it was anymore, but one of the cards, when we first got into collecting the game and everything like that, I got one. I don't remember what it was, but it was one of these highly collectible promo cards or something like that. And I was like, but I got one. He's like, I don't care, man. I can't throw it in my deck. I don't care. You know? I was like,
honestly, that's how I felt about Smokey Bears. Like, okay, only need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Collecticon promos with the eggs. I didn't want them at first.
And what's
I'm
funny
I
is,
didn't want to get the whole set.
What's funny is that now that I am more of a player, I do feel that way as well. Mm-hmm. But since I'm also like just into the artwork and the collecting, like I pay attention to it, but like I'm not out seeking it anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's a lot of cool artwork that's just fun to look at and has a lot of fun purpose to it, you know. But yeah, those business cards, you just brought up a whole nother topic, man. Those things are awesome, and they were a part of NYCC as well, and they're literally just a business card. That's all it is. But they were very hard to get from what I hear.
They didn't give out too many. Even when they announced it, they said will be handed out by myself, CCE, and Shaw at NYCC in a limited capacity if you can find us.
If you can find us.
Obviously, you kind of know.
You know where they are. You see him down there and you start running.
Just running. Oh, you caught me. Here's a business card.
No, he just walks even faster. He turns a corner, turns a left corner. You're like, where is this? And you just see a Pikachu and Sailor Moon standing over there. But, where did Mike Waddell go?
I get it though, because the way that I think of it is like, you know, he's already got people like Steve Aoki paying attention to him, things like that. NYCC is a place where there's a ton of people with a ton of money, a ton of influence, people that you don't even know might be connected, whatever, you know what I mean? So he's just throwing that message out there so that hopefully somebody who might potentially become a business partner sees that and goes, you know what, if I run into this guy, I'll get a business card or something like that, you know? And I think it's a great way of doing it because, you know, I know from experience, like I remember certain business cards, you know, there's times where somebody hands me a business card and I'm like, ooh, wow.
Yeah,
like
there's quality.
This is thicker than my credit card, you know. Like,
let me try and take this out at the ATM.
like this thing's not, you know. So yeah, if I got a hollow card that looks like a Metazoo playing card, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would leave somewhat of an impression.
Absolutely.
And I would remember that. You know?
Yeah, that's super cool idea of how they did with that.
Yeah. It actually has their numbers on it as well.
No wonder.
Which, their office numbers.
In this day and age, we don't. In this day and age, like there's no office; it's their personal number.
Yeah,
like,
or
that's
some form of number that's always with them. You know,
maybe it's a Google number. How you could do those now or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's so awesome, honestly. And I tried to win the one on LPA, of course, and.
Who didn't?
Yeah, you're like this close, right? Just like this close. You saw your name pass by. Like
I felt it, you know, but you know, a different me in another dimension won it, but it's all right. You know.
That person's very happy right now.
There's no reason for me to ever have one, but honestly, like Andy's just stands out with the inks and the graffiti in the back. There's just so much more detail and stuff going on in that one.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful card. I'd actually like to know who the artist was, but
I thought they were both beautiful cards, honestly.
No, they're all great, but just Andy's really strikes me. And then if you actually look at his hollow pattern, he has the angry face in the hollow pattern as well.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry, Mike, you're not my favorite.
But
he's just in his hoodie, right, with just like a red background or something.
He's like a Mothman
it's
background.
Still sick.
Oh, he has Mothman background.
Yeah, Mothman in the back end. And then Shaw has Bigfoot right behind him. And there's some jokes in there, too. Like, Andy's height is 3 Gumbaroos. Shaw's height is 75% of a Bigfoot.
Makes you go back and do the math.
Yeah, right.
That's all it really is.
But going back to, like, the normal promos and the regular playable promo, join the seance and everything, Ian did mention at one point when we were just getting into this that there's the Chibi Walking Sam on the promo. Now, again, I haven't looked all into the Seance cards. Is there a Chibi Walking Sam in the set? There's not a Chibi Walking Sam in the set.
It's kind
No,
of it's kind of a play on the card playability, I think, because you're actually making like a token, which is a puppet, and then you're actually kind of making like paper mache people too. You're trying to make 12 of them, I guess, for the WinCon.
I get it. I just like the look of the chibi. He looked cute. I liked him.
He's cute. I don't think you're out of luck. So Trick or Treat's coming out. This is the time of year, and the set that's releasing, Walking Sam is the headliner. And from Halloween, the tarot card from Trick or Treat, there's only 8 beasties that you can pull out of that. So there's 2 that we don't know, and I think one of them could be Walking Sam.
Well, I hope it is.
Which would be a chibi Walking Sam on the card, because all of them are.
Yeah, with the costume on.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm down for that. I can't wait for those Halloween cards to come, honestly.
Waiting for the next update.
Soon. I'm going to be opening a lot of cards if they don't get here before Halloween.
Do you have any tentative? Do you know any? Have you heard anything about that or no? Like a mail day? No, it hasn't been.
You saw the picture
yet.
for tarot cards. That just popped up. Just arrived for them.
I saw the picture. What were the 2 that they said were going to ship out soon or something like that the other day? There was the Flork one and something else. That's the last one I remember.
Oh, Flork and the NFT Pink box.
Yeah. Yes. Which I did not get with my boxes. I honestly probably would have forgotten, not even realized. Unless
I just remember the other day. Honestly, I was like, "Wait a second, was I supposed to get a promo with this thing?" Like,
like I genuinely probably would have never remembered.
I would never have known because I don't open my NFT products.
And it's supposed to be inside, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it's supposed to be inside.
I now use one of those empty boxes to keep my deck boxes in. So it looks less cluttered.
It's not bad. It's not a bad size box for that.
I put like four or 6 deck boxes in it, something like that.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Then the next thing that we're going to move on to there were some products that were released at NYCC for NYCC. And me being somebody who could not get there, I'm a little upset about that, honestly. There were some pretty cool products. The one that I'm honestly the most upset about is there were some pins that were released from Pin Club Official, who collabs and is a partner with Metazoo Games. Those of you who know, I'm a huge collector. I pretty much swap one out almost every week, even on my hat and everything like that. But they released 3 for the event. One of them was Dingbell, one of them was Hodag, and one of them was Loveland Frogman, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
And I really want that Dingbell. I want all 3 of them. But
I was sharing things with you all weekend, bro. I kept seeing them, and I was like, I gotta send this to Matt. And he's just like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
I really want that.
He's like, I can't get it. I've seen them.
Yeah, I couldn't get the tarot cards. I couldn't get the pins. I know, man. But
all 3 of them have the alt patterning, right? The glittery patterning on them.
Yeah, and it looks like it. Like for the Dingbell one,
it's just
actually
copper.
for all 3 of them, it looks like it's way more glittery. Honestly,
yeah. But it's the only one of the 3 that's glow in the dark as well.
Is it really?
Why don't
you just rub it in for MJ?
It's a little bit different, right?
I know, right?
I had to buy it as soon as it stopped. Like, I need that.
I genuinely feel like some of the pins are just shinier than others, and I feel like the first 2 sets of pins that we got, for some reason, were shinier than the last 2 sets that we got. Like baby blue.
The finish on them, or just in general?
No, like the actual like glitter. Like I don't know what you call it, but like how you were saying, like the alt like glittering that's in the pins itself.
Yeah. I imagine that's just some kind of like glitter in the solution they use.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's something like that.
Toughen them up.
But yeah, like Babe, my Babe the Blue Ox from CN, that thing is shiny, man.
Yeah.
and that's kind of how these ones looked for over the weekend, Yeah, I really liked it. I saw it first from this guy that I talk to occasionally on Instagram, Metazoo Drew. I saw it on his story, and he had the Frogman one, and I messaged him immediately, and I was like, "Is that exclusive?" I was like, is that exclusive to this conference? I've never seen that before.
I didn't even know it was happening.
And he like nonchalantly was like, oh, I don't even know, man. He's like, I just saw it and bought it. I liked it. I was like, for like the next like day, I was like, where did he get that pin? Like,
do you know how much they were at the convention?
Like $10, $15.
Okay. 15. I got all 3 of them for $20 each on eBay.
Oh, nice.
So I thought that was a decent.
That is a good deal.
Frogman was 25, but
yeah,
it's still
yeah,
that's a good deal.
At all. That's not a bad deal. I would have paid that. Yep, it's probably less than I'll end up paying. So, you know. But then the other product that was released, which I believe you also got your hands on there, Ian.
I did.
Was the Invasion Toys Sinkhole Sam. That's
We got a little bit of everything.
It's like an alt art.
I have plans
Sam.
for it.
Okay.
I have plans for it, and
Ooh.
I might not need to keep my pins, so I'll say that now. I haven't decided.
Exciting.
But yeah, I did buy a Sinkhole as well. So the Sinkhole, that's the one that stumped me for the last couple of weeks when they announced it, because it was just this black snake-looking thing, which obviously looking back now, it's Sinkhole Sam. But what threw me off is it's a solid color, right? Sinkhole Sam is 2 colors. It's alternating black and white.
I think that's what threw everybody off.
Yeah. So, you know, it makes sense when you consider it's a alternate version of an Invasion toy, you know, the alternate paint. But I thought it was like a Hopkinsville goblin head on a snake body. You know, just like I have no idea.
They had never shown us a version of Sinkhole Sam looking like that. So like when we see other versions, we understand. Oh, that's the Nightfall version of this card. This is that. We never had anything to reference. So like I remember seeing it and I was like you said it. I mean, it's very similar. Hopkinsville goblin's head and Sinkhole Sam. Like that's what it said. Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like. So that face is definitely a little bit more, I don't know, demonish rather than like serpentish, where it has like the Beetlejuice, like the critters out there. That's what it reminds me.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks Beetlejuice.
Yeah, absolutely. those whatever you want to call them.
So I'm gonna give Tormentic a shout out. I wish he released his video on Sinkhole Sam sooner. Because he released a video on Sinkhole Sam, and it does say in it that most of the times they have that stripe pattern, but not all the times.
Interesting.
So yeah, he did say that in the video. So that might have hinted towards it sooner if that video was out before the con. Or maybe it was and I just missed it, but I think we knew by the time that video was out. But I do like something else, speaking of him, that he said. When talking to him once, he said that it's almost like he thought that Sinkhole Sam Invasion toy was almost like a shiny version of a Pokemon, and I kind of like thinking of it like that. For
Dratini,
some reason.
Like a really dark Dratini.
So you know how in Pokemon a shiny Pokemon is just a Pokemon that's not the normal
different color.
It's a different color version of the same. A shiny
Pokemon is blue. Like it's pink.
A pink Pikachu would be a shiny Pikachu.
Okay. Those don't
Pikachu
exist.
Shiny is like a dark yellow or an orange color. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know what they are, but yeah, it's just a different color.
I've done a lot of shiny hunting in my life. I'll admit it. But yeah, so a Dratini is blue normally. The shiny version is pink. Right, so it's just a different color variant. Very, very rare in the Pokemon world. It's incredibly rare to see one. It's easier in some games than others. So people actually, you know, when they're done with the game, they'll just go shiny hunt. Yeah. And there's ways to make the odds, you know, better.
I did it in Sword and Shield myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like his viewpoint on that, and like that Invasion Toys Sinkhole Sam is essentially like the shiny version of a Sinkhole Sam, where it's just different color, a version that we don't normally see, and like he mentioned in his video, it's just that rarer version that's not striped. But yeah, have you gotten that in the mail yet?
No, I think it comes on Monday. I think everything I ordered comes on Monday. The pins that I ordered, a couple of Seance cards that I found on eBay.
I don't know why.
This is all off of eBay?
I'm very curious of like the weight of it for some reason. I want to know like
that's one of my first questions. So basically, I basically bought the pins in Sinkhole Sam, since they're New York City exclusives, so I could do a video on, basically talking about them and showing them off and whatnot. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know they exist, or if they do, they're going to be in short supply. Not a lot of people are going to have them. I felt like I got lucky getting the pins at 20.
Yeah, probably.
I think, I mean, you look at the alt pins just from the regular boxes, and they go for more than that. When they come out. I probably overpaid for Sinkhole Sam, but we'll see.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't need to tell us.
You just said it is extremely limited, and
it is limited.
Okay,
I think there was only 500 of them.
So I'm gonna give you a
true,
reference point. I got the plush egg at Orlando.
5,000.
And I think I actually listed it on eBay a little while ago, and it just sat there. Man, just sat there.
Yep.
I listed it pretty high too. I'm telling you, like four times what I paid, and I have a feeling that you might have paid 4 times what it was worth, or not worth, but what it was. And to be honest, it sold a couple months later, like maybe a month or two after I listed it, and they didn't even bargain. They didn't ask for a buy it best offer. They just bought it.
Best offer.
I was like, what? What if I? Yeah. I was like, what if I don't want to sell it anymore?
I think I've told you guys before. I have 2 of those.
Yeah.
Because I maybe we should look it up.
No. I went to somewhere else.
Okay, it's possible. No, for some reason, like I was like, okay, I need to get this egg. I don't have it yet, so I went online and I bought it. And then I went to bed, and the next morning I was like, I gotta get that egg, and I bought it again. And like, there's no alcohol involved at all. I was like completely sober.
You just did it for coffee in the morning, man.
Completely.
You were
forgot
dreaming about that,
dude.
Exactly.
You were dreaming.
You needed to. You had to have 2.
The second one showed up. I'm like, what the hell? I already bought this.
Since we're mentioning the eggs, I'm just gonna shamelessly plug this right now. If anybody has the last 3, including the one that's coming out this weekend in Denver, I'm willing to trade for those. I'm trying to complete those. I got the first 3. I like to trade. Hit me up if you got the last 3 with the matching promo card. I want to finish my little egg plushie set. Also, if you want to trade me Hero, I'm looking for that. Trade me that. Don't trade it to Deadly.
All right, cool. So apparently you built this whole platform just to ask for a couple trades.
Don't trade it to Deadly.
You get 9 episodes in.
Yeah,
he's trying to snipe.
You gotten this far, guys. You definitely let's trade something.
I'm shamelessly plugging that. So anything you guys want to say about those products before we go on to the last thing that happened at NYCC?
Nope.
Did they actually give tarot cards out, like the regular print, or only samples of the con? You could buy them there.
They were physically sold there. Yes.
Really? So people actually have them. I haven't even seen it.
So how they were sold? Yeah. So how they were sold online on eBay live auction or whatever that was.
Yeah.
For us, the public that could not go to the conference, the people that were at NYCC, they were able to purchase them there.
I don't think they have them in hand.
No, maybe not. So it might have been. It said like on their us in Orlando. It might have been like us in Orlando when we were able to buy the Wilderness booster boxes, even the NFT booster boxes, like weeks ahead of time, but we didn't get them until they mailed them out, type of thing. It very well could have been like that.
Unless they're putting the black bordered tarot cards in the boxes, like the shipping boxes, and not the tarot boxes themselves, because Mike had those in his hand during the stream. They wouldn't have been sold directly at.
Gotcha. Now that actually makes sense. Now
they were letting you buy Seance spell books because they had on their eBay a buy now, pick up, so you could physically buy it, walk around the con or something, and then go and pick it up. At their booth
for booster boxes, not spell books.
So
really?
That goes.
Okay, I thought I saw it.
So now
that's the next topic. But I do have one thing left to say, and it's about the New York City Comic-Con exclusives, and that's that I'm incredibly disappointed. I was really hoping that this was going to be the first time that we would see Metazoo Funkos.
I think a number of people thought that.
Yep.
You know what else I've heard, honestly? I've heard a number of people say that they thought that they were going to drop a trailer to the TV show or one of
I
the
haven't
shorts.
have we seen any of the shorts?
Or
Not
a trailer
yet.
to a
We haven't seen
movie.
shorts or anything. No.
Or that I've heard maybe a trailer to the game or whatever it is that they've been working on. I've heard a few people bummed out about that, but I'm like, nowhere did they hint that they were going to.
No, there was
do
no
that.
hints at it.
Yeah,
you know, we haven't seen anything even hinting at Funko since I think May or June. It's been months, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you teased it.
I know.
Give me more.
I know. I've heard a few people talk about a few different things. So I understand your frustration. I was moving some furniture around about a week ago, and I was moving some of my Pokemon Funkos, and I was like, damn, I can't wait to trade these for some Metazoo ones.
Right. I have a stack of I think that might be the first 24 Game of Thrones ones from when the show first launched.
Never seen an episode.
Well, you're dead to me, but you know, some of them aren't worth anything, but there are some that are worth a pretty penny. I'd probably trade for some Metazoo ones. So.
Yeah. So I think we will see those in the near future, though. I feel like every time we mention it in like one of those Metazoo hours, Mike's like, soon. Oh, there's new. Or he's like, or he gives like the little smiley face, you know, you know, something like that, you know. But yeah, so the next topic, the last topic about NYCC is that they were selling some Seance products, and I have mixed emotions about that. But my mixed emotions about that kind of got answered already by the time of us, you know, filming this podcast. And the thing that I was concerned about was, are these people at NYCC are going to be allowed to like legally play these cards in the tournament ahead of time? Because there's going to be a tournament, you know, like this upcoming weekend in Denver, things like that. With like a real prize pool, you know, everything, you know, where like competitive players, like that could be a big difference in a game, you know. But you know, they did come out and say that no, those cards will not be legal until the set, you know, officially releases. So yeah, that was my only concern with that. Other than that, like, you know, I know some people were upset that the set got spoiled completely ahead of time.
100% all the way through.
Yes, 100%.
Except for we don't know any secret rares or anything yet, right?
I'm indifferent about it because, like,
well, no, but it's not like those got spoiled for UFO for spoiler weekend either.
I know, but
those are gonna come over. But yeah, the first one for UFO was pulled like the week after the set officially came out.
Did we get like we got hints though, right?
We saw them send the stuff into space. We saw them send the stuff into space and everything. So that's my thing. Is there any like I don't know the right word, but gimmick, or you know what I mean? Like any like to send stuff to space. I don't know the right word. I'm not.
No.
I've told you in episode 1 I'm not good with vocabulary. Okay.
The equivalent gimmick was I don't want to call it a gimmick.
I know I don't know the word, but so come up with you got big words. Ian.
Marketing strategy.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry, jeez.
The equivalent
so
marketing strategy.
Words don't have meaning. You give it the meaning, okay?
Yeah, it was that they did the artwork for the box in Afton's Blood, right? Yeah, which goes in with the Seance theme.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, it wasn't as grand as, you know, sending stuff into space. Nothing against your blood, Afton. It just, you know, that was the marketing strategy for that one. And in terms of the secret rares, we didn't really get a hint at what they are yet. The closest thing that we've heard is last week in the Metazoo chat, Andy had said, wouldn't it be cool if the chase for Seance resulted in a redeemable product or something like that. So there was another announcement. I said weird. There was another announcement by Mike of this gold ring. I don't know if you guys saw that. The gold ring has the pentacle on it.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is that could be one of the things that could be redeemable with, you know, something like a golden ticket or something like that in Seance.
Yeah, I do recall you bringing what you brought up. I saw both of those posts, and yeah, they're gonna potentially have something redeemable for Seance at this point. That's the only kind of flag that we've been given for any direction on that. But
does Metazoo still make announcements and then delete them?
I haven't seen one in a while, but that
I feel like I haven't seen these
generally
announcements.
Maybe they're just
send me
getting...
them now when that happens. So I haven't been sent any in a while either.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just getting really good at it and nobody sees it.
The other redeemable thing that they talked about months ago, this was a long time ago, but I remember it because I thought it was interesting, was redeemable cards that result in redeemable NFTs. So it could be something along the NFT line as well.
Yes.
They have hinted at that before.
Yeah, they have.
That's a dangerous line. Because that's assuming that every single person that's buying their cards wants an NFT or wants to be involved with their NFT. I mean,
why not take it or sell it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, you guys have that mindset and we all are kind of in agreement, but like there's not everybody out in this world that wants to like even deal with it. There's a lot of people in this world, but that's for a different story.
So don't rip it up. I don't know. Make the value of the others go
kid.
up.
Say there's an NFT redeemable and you pull the card, right? You don't have to give up the card. You just give Metazoo the wallet address of the other person.
Ian doesn't like that we. Ian doesn't
that?
like that we rip our NFT products open. But see, for every single one of those stickers that Paul and I have thrown out, your sticker now has increased in value.
Yeah, don't you like that? I have one right here.
Valuable. It's already valuable. The booster boxes. There's only like 2,000 of them or something like that.
I actually,
it's a couple hundred once it comes down to it.
What I did with the wilderness ones actually was I cut the sticker out, and since they were on like the actual cellophane, so I cut them out and kept the stickers, and they're in the top loader now, and I have like five gold stickers in the top loader now.
I'm excited to see what they do for the Seance NFT ones, because they have said they're going to make a bigger,
on the box,
more prominent sticker. Yeah. So UFO was on the box.
Yeah.
But it was still it was the regular
that little tiny
seal.
Yeah.
So you can't you know, like I'm gonna pull that off my shelf one day. I accidentally cut that one open.
Yeah, you're not gonna have any idea.
You know, I'm coming.
But yeah, they haven't announced when those go up yet for us, right?
No, it's usually the week after though, right? It's not long after.
It's shortly after usually. So my question is for NYCC, was it only the booster boxes available? Were there other products available? How did that work, if anybody knows?
At the convention itself?
Yes.
Yeah. It was just the booster boxes.
Any playmat or anything? Nothing? Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. So I thought you meant like product that you could cards. There was a playmat and I believe a shirt as well that you could buy in person. It was the white shirt, and there was two variants of it. They both had the eBay logo on it, but slightly different versions of the shirt. I think Mike and Bailey wore the shirts in the eBay live stream.
Those were super cool looking shirts. I like that eBay shirt.
You know they released like official Nightfall like shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff like that. I wish they did that for UFO. And
they said they were going to.
I hope they do for Seance.
Yeah, Seance ones are going to be pretty dope.
They would be, yeah.
The original announcement for the UFO ones is that they were going to drop the same week or the same day as the release date for UFO, and then it just never happened. So, I don't know if it's still going to. I would hope it's still going to happen because people are looking forward to some of that stuff. But
if anyone has an update on that, let us know in the comments because I want some of that stuff. Well, I'm actually glad it was only booster boxes that were released. That makes sense. It's only packs in there. You know what I mean?
In the announcements, they also showed the UFO lunchboxes, but you couldn't buy them there. It was just a display.
My reason for asking this is because usually in the theme decks, like we've gone over before, there's usually some like spicy sauce thrown in there. Sometimes reprints from sets. That's where we got next chapter. That's where we got Patient Insight that Deadly likes to lose playing with.
I played with it one time. You say it's now my favorite card.
You love it, dude. I'm going second. Deadly's it's going on Deadly's tombstone. I'm going second.
He went second. And he ended here.
But yeah, there's usually some cards that are not a part of the main set. And then also that means that the release event boxes are still total mystery at this point as well. Yep. So even though the whole core set has been spoiled, it's out. It's not spoiled, it's out. Let's just call it what it is. It's out now. But since everybody knows the core set, it's kind of cool that once the set releases, we still have some things to look forward to, in my opinion, besides just secret rares, stuff that anybody could get their hands on still, type of thing. And I always, I've mentioned this before too, I always like the release event decks. I always think there's some cool promo card in there for whatever aura type they choose for those 5. And I'm excited to see whether these are dual aura again. I'm just going to go ahead and assume they will be.
I'd imagine they are.
Yeah. They're pretty darn heavy in this set. Like
for this set, yeah, that's what they're pushing this set. They're pushing the darkness for the Seance as the theme, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're pushing the dual aura for the gameplay. That's the new thing. Almost every set, something new is being introduced in the gameplay, and like dual aura has been a thing, but there's never been the dual aura cards, and that's the new thing for this set.
Yeah.
It was like, Nightfall, they did the artifact essences for the first time. Yep. Mm-hmm. Wilderness did the special terras and the special aura for the first time. Mm-hmm. UFO did the orbs for the first time, the terra orbs for the first time. And now we got this stuff going on. we got some we got a bunch of dual aura cards going on, and I'm hoping that there's some different combos from like the theme decks, which I'm again assuming that there will be. I'm excited for those. But yeah, anybody else want to touch on the products being released kind of early type of thing or anything like that, or we'll go on to the next topic?
I was a little disappointed with how it was teased, to be honest. Nothing against Bailey and how they chose to do that first box, but that first Friday night before anybody in the general public got their hands on it, Bailey did a break on his whatnot, which is totally fair. If that's how Metazoo wants to, it's fine. I didn't care for it so much because part of what I like about Spoiler Weekend is actually seeing the posts on Facebook or wherever, the general public is opening their spoiler packs, posting their hits, and seeing it from, the community, right? Because people get excited when they open their spoiler packs.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this is also the first time where the booster box is releasing alongside the spoiler packs as well. So it wasn't just the fact that the community wasn't the first ones kind of showing off the cards. It was that, you have a full pack. So you're not spoiling one card at a time with a spoiler pack.
Yeah.
You're spoiling 11 cards, or 12 cards if you include the aura, right? So that the spoilers that are going out are just so much faster. In that first night that LPA did his break, we knew a good chunk of the set, maybe not all the golds,
80%.
but most of the commons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the part that I was disappointed about. It's just it happened so fast, and it happened from a single source primarily.
I do as well, and I'm gonna speak from.
I mean, I watched it. I can't complain. I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching this. Let's do this. Okay. But
I'm gonna speak from just Deadly in my experience going to Orlando and getting Wilderness spoiler packs.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. So we opened those. We were the only 2 people we knew going there. We went there, just the 2 of us, not knowing anybody, and we met some people there at the convention, and we all shared this joy, essentially. Like childlike joy, just being like, whoa, we haven't seen this before. Look at the color on that. Look at the artwork. Whoa, this card looks powerful. It was just like a whole thing, and we would rip it. We'd get the card in the line. We'd wait in the line. We'd go get the card. we'd rip the pack in the game room where the players were playing their tournament and stuff like that. And then you see the players swarming us, being like, what does this card do? What does that card do? What is this? And now we are those players essentially, but
and we're being basically fed to us by one individual, basically.
And it doesn't have that joy that was we felt in Orlando.
I haven't even touched one.
But yeah, I definitely see your point with that. It didn't hit as home for me because I wasn't there physically, but it probably would have bummed me out even being there, because it's like I could have one with I could get like one card in a pack, or I could just buy a booster box and get six packs.
If I could have been there and bought my own booster box, I think that's different, right? Because I think the people that were at the event probably weren't being like, "Oh, LPA's doing a stream right now. I'm going to hop on and see these spoilers."
It was for the community. It was for people. It was
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. It's more for us, I think. I'm sure some people at NYCC also watched that stream, but I think the majority probably didn't either know what was happening, or they were focused on other things like, hey, I'm in New York City. Let's spoil a little bit. And then they got their spoiler packs or booster box the next day, and if it was me, I'd just buy it. I'd buy a booster box and open it up.
Well, no offense to any streamer, I'm walking right past you at those conventions. I don't notice you're there.
I don't notice. You're talking about not noticing people. You notice more people than I did. I don't notice anyone when I'm there. I'm just like, what are we doing here? I'm just looking.
I
at
notice
the
like the
stuff on
YouTubers
tables.
and stuff like that. I notice them.
Yeah, the ones that are a little bit more common. Like, you can recognize their face.
There's the one-eyed crow.
Yeah. He's got two eyes. What the hell?
Said no one ever.
No, but I wanted to comment on what MJ said for Orlando. I agree with that without a doubt. That feels like it was perfect, because we really hadn't seen anything other than what Metazoo had given us for Wilderness. We got to the Collecticon. We knew there was going to be all these spoilers and all this crazy. We got so lucky to pick this specific one, be close to us, and have a set being released within like a week or two. So that was our experience. But what they did was they handed out single packs, like one pack per person. So really what you're doing is you're spreading it out, like, and there's no way for all of us to get together and be like, okay, everybody take a picture of the cards and give it to one person, so then it's now all over the internet. You know what I mean? It's like, you have one, you left, and I don't know what's in your pack. You have one, you left, and then they were giving away the spoiler packs and the Collecticon packs.
And they did give two people, if I'm remembering correctly, booster boxes to rip on camera. One of them I know for a fact was Dr. Applesauce.
Oh, yeah.
The other one, I don't remember his name. I know he's a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber. I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh! So I apologize. But he did a box break with Cross the Pond from Caster Society.
Oh, yeah, they basically just went right out and did it right there.
And the thing, though, with those was they didn't release them, though, like that night.
No.
They released them like a week or two later. Like, they took their time. They edited the videos.
Caster Society website wasn't even out. Their website wasn't even there yet, or at least the one that had the database.
It's not. Yeah, it's not what it was.
They're completely different animals than what they were in Orlando.
But yeah, so it didn't spoil every, like, there was a lot for our minds to still, wander about with.
It felt like it crept in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even 2 weeks. It was longer than 2 weeks. I'm
really?
remembering, because I didn't know where I was. I didn't know I was like moving yet at that time. And by the time those boxes shipped out, they got mailed to my new house.
Oh yeah. We ordered it, and
there was like 3 months in between there or something.
You're right. 3 months? You really think it was 3 months?
Maybe a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. But,
one set comes out every 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you're right.
I hope they do it differently for Native or SCP, if SCP is going to get like a release like this at a convention, though. Where those spoiler packs, give a day for the spoiler packs to get out, let that get to the community, and then like Harley went to Times Square and did his break on, I believe it was Saturday night. So
it was such a great video.
It was a great video. It was a really great idea. It was actually really funny to see the people in the background being like, "What's that guy doing?"
Yeah.
But that was perfect, because there was a whole day for people to get their spoiler packs, to open them, to get that magic, and then later that night it was like, okay, and he didn't open a whole booster. And did he open a whole booster box? He got through a bunch of cards.
Yeah,
You
through a
learned a
bunch of
lot.
packs. Yeah,
At that point, spoiler packs would have been opened and shared in on Instagram, Facebook, etc. enough to where it wouldn't really matter as much. So
yeah.
I don't mind that so much. It's just in my opinion, let the community kind of get that first wave of sharing out to make that feel a little more special. But.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, moving on to, I guess, really the last topic of the episode. This was kind of announced during NYCC towards the end of the convention.
I think it was actually after.
It might have been.
Everyone
It might have been
might
after.
home by then.
It very well could have been. But it has to do with Caster's Cup, and this is a little more for players, obviously. But this news was talking about Caster's Cup next year and what they think they might be doing in regards to where it might be, things like that. I'm just going to go ahead and read the message that came from Mike himself in the Discord server. And the first message said, Comic-Con has an entire floor dedicated to gameplay events and tournaments. My Hero Academia has a 40 by 40 booth down there. We won't make that mistake next year. If we can wing it, we will do Caster's Cup at Comic-Con. And that message was early morning, and it got the chat busting. A lot of people instantly started like panicking or voicing their concerns or saying how excited they were, whatever it was. But
Most of the people that were unhappy, but yes.
Yeah, most of the people seemed unhappy. I will not lie. At first, my initial reaction was, why would they do that? But then I saw, I started like analyzing the message kind of in a way, and I'm like, wait a minute. They have an entire floor for tournaments. NYCC,
It's huge, isn't?
I didn't even know
Comic-Con
that.
is gigantic. It's like really big
I know
compared to
that.
Collecticon.
So I know that, but Collecticon is more TCG based. It's centered more around TCGs. Comic-Con to me is more comics and fandom and
pop culture in general. I think
some
you
of like
you have TV shows that are there, like
Yeah.
Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
So I think it's more the stuff that like people will be fan crazy over and stuff
Yeah.
like that, which can be TCGs. I'm not saying it can't be or anything like that, but I just wasn't assuming that to be like a big thing at Comic-Con. Collecticon, like I said, it makes sense to me because it's centered around TCGs. But yeah, so I was like, wait a minute, if there's a whole floor there that is dedicated to tournaments for TCGs, and My Hero Academia has this huge thing going on, like, yeah, Metazoo definitely should have something there that could be way bigger, potentially. I don't know anybody who plays My Hero Academia. I got 17 LGSs by me. You know what I mean? I don't know one where there's somebody playing that game.
You sure, bro? There's probably one person.
There probably
somewhere.
are. There probably is. But I haven't met them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be fair, there though, you're gonna find the same thing from My Hero Academia players talking about Metazoo.
oh,
Right.
I'm sure.
There are certainly LGSs that are promoting Metazoo and have players at them, but there are a lot that don't as well, right?
Well,
so
if they're watching this podcast, play some Metazoo.
do it. Experience varies. I don't want somebody out there.
No,
playing
you're-
My Hero
yeah,
Academia
no.
to be pissed off at us. Right
No,
now. It's like,
you're right.
They're
Yeah.
liars.
No. I didn't know that was a thing at Comic-Con, and I didn't know that game was big either.
Right.
But my point was, I said at first I was like, why would we want to go to the more expensive event where the tickets are harder to get, things like that. And then it started to make sense to me, like I said.
Yeah, so that was the first argument that I was like, really though? Because hours after the tickets dropped for NYCC, I could still get them at cost. And yeah, if you waited a week, it went up to $1,000 for the 4-day ticket. And then, prices dropped, after that as well again. So it depends on how much you're paying attention and how
I
fast
do
you
agree.
are, right?
I
It's not like it's one of those things where like the tickets go up and they're sold out within seconds either. I went on literally like 4 to 6 hours later, and I was able to get a 4-day pass for $250 or whatever the rate was, you know. So the cost thing, that one for me is a hard one to argue. It's just, you know, be ready and be on time.
I see both sides of that. I do agree with you. Like, if you're planning on going to Casters Cup 2023, you should be prepared regardless. You know, like that's just the first thing I'm gonna just throw out there. Like, you're gonna most likely have to travel. You're gonna need a hotel. You're gonna need to be prepared.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you want to go, I would start preparing sooner rather than later. But the other point is that, like you're saying, yes, you can get those tickets at cost in a reasonable amount of time and things like that. However, for Collecticon, you could get those tickets at cost day of. You know, like you can.
That's fair.
You could walk to the door and get a VIP pass for $100 at the door at Collecticon. You know, you might be waiting in line, but
and you can go to Spookala and they'll charge you $40 with an hour and a half left of the whole thing.
Yeah, you found that one out.
Yeah.
My point being, you know, in the argument of cost, though, the ticket is not going to be your main cost. It's going to be the hotels and the travel.
Yes, and you're going to have to pay for that regardless. That's my point. So be prepared either way. Yes, I agree, 100%.
You have a year's heads up right now. Start saving.
But after everybody in the chat, you know, started losing their minds, going crazy, voicing their opinions and everything, Mike then shares, how about off-site event during Comic-Con for everybody? Then we bring the top cut 64-32 into Comic-Con for the big finals. Blow it out, pay for their tickets, etc. The best of both worlds. Everyone could participate like normal. Then we could still have the Comic-Con pedigree.
I like it.
I think that's a healthy compromise that he came up with in minutes.
So yes, it's a compromise for those complaining about having to buy tickets for NYCC.
Yes,
they're not saving anything on hotel. They're not saving anything on travel.
But that's pretty much what I think people were complaining about.
Yeah, that's not even the big. Right. So by doing that, you take out the major part of the event where people are showing up. You know, 315 people at Casters Cup 2022. Right. You take out that big crowd that's then going into the play area, drawing attention of the other people at the convention into somewhere else that's off-site, and then you bring your top 64-32, which is not that many people in the grand scheme, into the event to then finish the tournament, which you're not going to get as much, you know, visual hype over, unless the people that are now complaining they don't want to go into Comic-Con, they don't want to pay that,
are going to go,
they're going to buy that ticket to go in and watch.
Exactly.
You know? Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it was a good idea. But I don't think it's the right idea for the concerns that I was hearing in the chat at the time, specifically around money and cost to attend Comic-Con to then also participate in Casters Cup.
I think
it is an option. It's a valid option.
Yeah.
But it's not an option that's going to save people all that much money in the grand scheme, unless they're the kind of people that aren't really paying attention to the drops for the New York City Comic-Con tickets and then have to buy them on the aftermarket for incredibly marked up prices.
I will say though, going back to still that first comment, I think the best idea would just be to throw the thing at the event and make its name the biggest name in that TCG floor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think that would be the best thing for the brand, for the game itself. We'll steal those My Academia players.
I know my opinion's not popular because, you know, a lot of people, and that's the thing though, is when you have something like this, you're negative. Okay, I can't say negative. I think it was Speed Lemon called me out on that, and it's like, okay, you're right. It's not negative. It's just, you know, the opinion that was against holding it at New York City Comic-Con, that opinion was much more prevalent. But I think the people like myself were just kind of holding back. Like, I'm not going to get into that shitstorm right now.
Yeah.
Until somebody had said like, oh, nobody's agreeing with this, and I'm like, okay, I got to step in now. But, I think this is a great idea. It needs to be fleshed out a little more before we kind of freak out about it. But all in all, I think it's a great idea, and that to get the best effect, it has to be during the event for the full tournament.
I agree. I think it was Mike more or less just thinking out loud, and everybody just took it and ran with it, and he had to then come up with a quick solution to calm down everybody. But like you said, the details would have to be ironed out.
Absolutely.
And I think that was initially his plan, honestly. Again, I think he was just voicing out loud hey, I think it would be cool if we did this, and then everybody attacked him. And
hear me out on that. So Ian, how much was Comic-Con? 4-day ticket, or I guess not even four. Would be a 2-day.
For a single day ticket, it was like $50 for a daily ticket.
So that's a little bit more
then
reasonable.
If you wanted the 4-day, I don't remember the exact prices, because if you're doing a 4-day, that wouldn't really add up to $250. But I know the 4-day was around $250. The single day pass would have been a fraction of that.
So
Saturday sold out instantly.
That's
that first day.
That's the biggest concern as well. It's okay, so what day will they hold it on? Also, will they sell out? Because they're not the only ones buying these tickets. Because at this point, you have to think about it. It's not about whether it's in Comic-Con or out of Collect-A-Con. We're talking about whether or not you have to pay entry in to play this tournament. It's like playing in a draft. You have to pay to get in. If you do it at Comic-Con, then you're going to be paying $75 for this entry into this tournament. You do not get to hang out and collect in Comic-Con, because I could tell you, dude, I didn't do anything in Dallas. Anything. I didn't get any promos. I didn't walk around. I didn't see anybody in the booths. I literally went to the bathroom, bro, and I ate a hot dog in 48 hours.
Best trip of your life.
Deadly, don't lie. I got you promos of 2 now failed TCGs.
Oh yeah. And I'm holding on to those because they may come back. They may have a.
I've had some Maelstrom cards on eBay for a long time now.
The guy might fake his death again,
Yeah.
Can you die twice? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but what you were saying though, I had a thought on it, and now I forget. What were we talking about?
I basically did not like the idea. I don't like the idea that I have to pay to enter into this Comic-Con that I will not get to experience at all.
Right. So you can make. Yeah, well, I guess.
Let me ask this, Deadly.
And it's a lot of extra people that wasted a lot of. I feel like it.
So let me ask
Metazoo,
this. Did Metazoo, or did they not though, send you $1,000 check in the mail?
Okay.
For missing the tournament?
Yeah, but it's because
no. But also, it took me 48 hours of my life. Let me tell you, I would say it was 16 hours the first day we played, and then it was 12 hours the second day we played, and we could go into how much sleep I got, but I got paid for that. I got paid.
Did you love it?
Baseball players are flying overnight after playing a game to play again in the morning. I don't hear them crying because they're making $1 million. Man.
Exactly. That's the difference.
You just got paid $1,000 to play a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Come on.
But there's a lot of people that didn't. There's 300 or 250 or whatever, 260.
They went to day 2 and enjoyed themselves at the conference.
They enjoyed this, but what Metazoo could do, right, is they're going to be bringing a lot of people in. Stop with this. Okay, we're going to announce a tournament and get everything prepared. 2 to 3 weeks before, right? This is a huge tournament. This is going to be. You're going to be able to sign up and qualify beforehand, right? That's what this is going to be for. Have a price to participate in Caster's Cup, and what they and that price, because Mike, he's already said Caster's Cup should be free. I disagree. That price should be whatever the cost of a ticket is to New York City Comic-Con. They're gonna upfront know, okay, we're bringing 400 people for this tournament, and can get the tickets from NYCC ahead of time. They can work out a deal with them, right? Theoretically, I'm not saying that they can, I guess. So it could be worked in to say, okay, your cost of participation for Caster's Cup 2023 is $50 because we're going to get this ticket for you up front at cost.
Yeah.
right? And I think that is probably the well, as Mike says it, the best of both worlds here. I think that's the best of both worlds, where people are getting in for as cheap as possible, and then you're holding the event you're holding the tournament at the event, so you still get that recognition of, holy crap, there's a huge crowd over there. What the hell are they doing?
And again, if they were specifically talking about doing it at NYCC, that's going to be a year from now. He has plenty of time to iron out those details. Yeah. Plenty of time.
But we can't be in these situations where, like, right now we're 2 weeks away from Salem and we have no idea what's going to be happening.
No, right? And I will say too, like, I think the first time it happened was Long Beach. I got annoyed because, like,
Roswell?
they at first... No. Long Beach, Conic-con.
What happened?
At first they were not even doing a tournament. You and I specifically, Deadly, were thinking about going there.
Oh, yeah.
Months prior, even from like Dallas, Dallas, like Connect-con. We were thinking about maybe we'll go to Long Beach.
Seemed like a good amount of time, distance, yeah.
And then like 2 weeks, a week and a half before, we're still, or I think it was 2 weeks before, we're still like, maybe not, probably not though. Look at the tickets. Tickets are crazy. We're not going to be able to do that from where we are. No, we're not going to be able to do that. Maybe if there was a tournament, we'd consider it. You know what I mean? Then a few days later, they're like, never mind, we're changing our mind. Tournament.
Yep. And by the way, first, second, and third place medals.
Yeah. What? Well, now the plane tickets are even more expensive.
Yeah.
I can't take off from work and all this other stuff.
Not to shit on Metazoo, I guess, but I like that they move fast and break shit. Essentially. No. Right, and that's kind of in the software world the same thing. It's you move fast, you break shit, you fix it. Right, you get stuff done, and that's what they're doing. They're getting stuff done.
They definitely are.
They're getting tournaments in front of people at events, and it doesn't always work out for everyone, but that's
life. Done. Yeah, that's life. Yeah, nothing in life is going to appease everybody. Let's just even something that we all like. If anybody's watching this podcast, I'm assuming you enjoy Metazoo. So even a group of people,
if you've made it this far into this episode,
so we obviously are all agreeing that we are fans of this stuff, and we could disagree about everything in between it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So just us agreeing that we like this thing doesn't mean enough. You know what I mean? So no one's ever going to be able to please everybody. I think Mike does a fairly good job of trying. Mm-hmm. And I believe he does that with collectors, players, all the above. I think he tries to find the happy medium and make this game the best game it can be for everybody. And I think that's all he wants to do for Casters Cup 2023 as well. Honestly, he wants it to be the best event it possibly can be. Bigger than it was last year.
Yeah,
I think that's his only intentions, honestly. And I whatever he chooses to do, he's got our support for it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I plan on being there. I plan on making it this time into the top cut.
Yeah, I have enough advance notice of when not when specifically I guess it's going to happen, but NYCC next year. That I'll be there. I can definitely plan ahead for that.
Now are you gonna play or are you gonna judge?
I don't know. Let's see where I'm at with judging.
Or are you gonna be the newscaster?
Yeah, you could maybe do that. Who knows?
You're gonna be out there with your microphone like a sportscaster.
A year is a long time. Which actually, I've almost been doing my channel for a year now, which is crazy.
That is crazy, dude.
But I'm actually, and kind of along that lines, I'm gonna be judging my first event for a Seance release event. So
very cool.
Awesome, man.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm excited for you. You gotta let us know how that goes afterwards.
If it goes well.
We want to know either way.
No, I think it's gonna go well. The part that's a little more concerning is just not being familiar with seance cards like I am with some of the existing ones, and luckily everything is spoiled. So
yeah,
but not the release of
Study
Intex.
Up. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about with the Casters Cup or anything from this episode? Otherwise, we'll start closing out.
I'm good.
I think we covered everything. I got a little heated, and I apologize.
Yeah, no, let me say that too. By no means do I have any ill feelings about Caster Cup and how it went. It was a awesome experience, and I loved it. But my opinion on having that many people around for this big of a tournament, I feel like it kind of just made it happen a little slower. But I don't know. That was the first one they ever did, so the next one could be clear at the airport where you're just walking in and oh, cool.
I will say though, Deadly, it's a little more upsetting when you spend $1,000 and you don't get the $1,000 back. You know, that's a little, and you still miss a full day of the conference.
There's a solution. There's a solution to that, and it's called Be Better.
Yeah, dude. You know, also, if I had 3 opponents actually show up who were supposed to, that would have helped me as well. So if you guys are watching this, whoever you were who did not show up,
call them out. Call them out.
Their names are up there. Their names are up there. If you look on the play network,
yeah, but they'd have to know your last name.
I got a 1-0 win.
I guess they could just go look at their own.
Yeah, I got a 1-0 win on those games because that's what happens when you don't show up. So that tremendously hurt my score. So I did lose 2 matches too, also though.
Pretending to be an ass aside, though. Pretending to be an ass aside, you know, with my Be Better comment. When you go to those tournaments, though, especially something that big, I mean, you don't go expecting. I mean, you hope you win. Some people, I guess, go expecting to win.
Nah.
But in my opinion, you should look at it the same way you look at any investment. Is okay. I'm putting money into it. I could lose it all, right?
I was going for the experience, honestly, for that first one. I have never even, Deadly knows this, I've never even been to like a Friday night draft before. That was literally my first experience.
All right.
That was my first experience at any trading card game event. So I was like, let me not dip my toe in, let me dive in first, you know?
Yeah.
So
that was my first big tournament like that with
I did the one
cards.
event to qualify me to get there, and there was like nobody there basically, and then I did that one. That was it.
The most challenging part of that. Well, I didn't go obviously, but the most challenging part of trying to follow it was like I knew you guys by your Discord handles at that time. I didn't know your real names, so then I had to like translate in my head like, okay, this is this person, even for other people. And then, I had, I knew John at the time. So John was like, oh yeah, this name is Moldy Potions. This name is Metacrax. This name, he's like throwing them all. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you know who we're following. Cause
yeah, right. Yeah, it was a fun day though. It was. And we met a lot of good people.
Loved it.
And I played against a lot of people who were in our Discord and everything even. Like the match would be ending or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, if you're not in this community, come check us out and stuff. And they'd be like, oh, you guys do the giveaways. And yeah, so it was kind of cool, meeting all those people and everything. So if they could do it bigger and better next year, like I said, I'm down completely.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think either one of you got too heated.
Just the only request that stays is, please, can we have this a little bit more time? Just a little bit, maybe like an extra week,
Well, Casters Cup, they will give us time.
More than a week. I don't think it's going to be like Salem.
I guess that one, they're going to, because we had a lot of time.
We need to practice.
Like 2 months. And stuff. How long did we have for this, the 22?
Probably about 2 months. It was, we knew pretty much like 2 weeks after Orlando.
Yeah.
No, not. Yeah, was it Orlando?
They did announce it earlier on.
I think we found out in February, March timeframe, and then it was in May.
Yeah,
right, yeah. They're not gonna skimp on that one. And I feel like what happens with these like Long Beach ones, maybe not so much with Salem, but I feel like what happened with the Long Beach one is maybe they didn't have the space, and then all of a sudden it opened up and they figured out what they could do, and then it was like, okay, let's do this, right?
That sounds
let's
pretty
give people something to do at this convention.
Realistic, yeah.
So, like I said, I think it's great that they're moving fast and kind of, in a sense,
breaking shit,
disrupting things a little bit. Yeah, breaking shit. I try not to swear so much.
Whatever grows the game
to provide these experiences that they're figuring out how to provide in real time for stuff like that. So,
like, really, whatever grows the game. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was so cool. I all the time, like every 2 weeks, let's say something like that, I go on YouTube and I search Metazoo, and then I go and I change it to by release date or something like that, or like the most recent one. And I'll see if there's somebody who I'm not following yet. And this week I saw somebody, I don't know his name, honestly. It's the first video I think he's ever made of Metazoo. And it was some guy who just got into like Pokemon collecting. And he's like, hey guys, I went to Walmart and I tried to buy Pokemon and I found these instead.
Yep.
And he was ripping Metazoo. And I was like, holy, this is awesome, man. Cool. And this guy was doing it. And he was like, these are awesome. And he was getting so into it. So I was like, whatever is growing this game and getting more people involved, I'm down for it. And I like that video got me so excited because this guy who didn't even know Metazoo existed, found those cards, saw the box, thought it looked cool, opened it up, and now he's like, I'm gonna start collecting this instead. Literally, he said that in the video.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then it's by doing that too, which is actually a good idea. I never thought of that. I'm following everybody that's featured on the Metazoo YouTube, and then anybody that kind of just pops into my feed that I see. There's actually a new one that I saw today. But by doing that, you're going in, you're supporting them, and then you are also giving them motivation to continue collecting Metazoo by being part of it.
Yeah,
and bringing them into it.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a nice little circle, keeps the cycle going. But yeah, I think that's it for the episode. Ian, do you have anything that you want to promote or plug or anything like that?
So many things.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess first start with Cryptid Nation News. I run a YouTube channel here on YouTube that primarily does weekly updates for Metazoo. So if you want to know what's going on in the world of Metazoo, it's a nice bite-sized chunk, so you don't have to constantly stay up to date. But you can still understand what's happened in the last week, what's going to happen in the next week, if there's any releases and whatnot. There's also some other videos kind of thrown in there for openings and whatnot, if I have something that I feel like opening. And then the other thing is Metazoo Archives, which is a website that Caster's Corner, myself, Termentic, Harley from Epic Dupe HD, and John from Mortal Workshop have started doing. So that'll have news articles on it, things that are more in the moment. It has gameplay articles, some card breakdowns and stuff like that. Lore articles, which are done by Termentic. So if you've seen his videos, he likes to dive into his theories about the Cryptid Nation's story, how that plays into the cards, and what we can figure out about some of the teasers coming out with things like Seance. Market analysis from Immortal Workshop, and then Harley goes to a lot of events, so he covers a lot of the events and helps with some of the new stuff as well. So a lot of articles there. We're still building it out, so there's going to be a lot more in the future. And we just got our logo this past couple days completed. That was done by Emily Nancy. So,
I'm sorry, say the artist's name again?
Emily Nancy. So she
Shout
did, I believe she did some playmats for Argos this time around.
Wow. Nice.
Or maybe, no, it was Caster's Society. I think she did the playmats for Caster's Society.
The logo looks dope, though. So, awesome art.
Yeah, it came out amazing. Yeah,
amazing.
Thank you, Emily Nancy.
Deadly, do you have any announcements or anything you want to plug before I go into mine?
Caster's Corner, come Friday, learn to play. I'll be there this Friday. Me and MJ will basically, which if you want to come and watch, if you want to come and play, we're open to both proxies, whatever. We're there to let you figure out the game, and we're just here to kind of give you some, from what we've learned, the rulings and everything, make it a little easier for you.
Yeah, so on that note, if anybody's interested in participating in the Learn to Play event, that is on the Play Network itself. I will leave a link to the Play Network down below in the description. And again, we do that over our Discord server, so there will also be a link to our Discord down below as well. And we do that over webcam using cards, or like Deadly mentioned, you could use proxies just to learn the game if you don't have the cards. whatever it takes to learn the game pretty much will help you guys do.
Yeah.
So if you want to partake, you could sign up, like I said, on the Play Network, or if you guys just want to pop in and watch, let's say, anybody else who's partaking in the event, you can just hop on into the Gameplay 1 channel. It takes place at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fridays every week, and you can just come on in. We'll play slow. You could ask questions, stop us, whatever it is that you guys need. So yeah, we'll be in there this Friday. Besides that, I just want to mention again that we are sponsored by Immortal Workshop again, and that his link is in our description down below. So if you're going to order some Seance product, make sure to check him out. I believe he still has some.
If you're going to order some Seance product, you can't.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's out.
If you wanted some, you can maybe get some later.
Well, bookmark his page, and maybe he'll get some more up there eventually, or maybe you should order it.
Do better.
Do the pre-order. Yeah, pre-order.
Be better.
But yeah, definitely check out his site though. He still has UFO up there if you need to get your hands on that, some wilderness things like that. And you could always use code Caster's Corner at checkout, and that will let them know that you came from us. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, everybody. Anybody else? Deadly, do you have anything else you want to say at all before we close out? No?
Nah.
Ian, anything you want to say at all before we close out? All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Leave a like on the video. Leave us a comment. The last thing I actually do want to say is that if you have any suggestions for us or want to ask us any questions, we do have a tab for that in our Discord as well. Yeah. Feel free to say anything that you want in those channels, as long as it's appropriate. Not anything you want. That might be going overboard.
We have rules here.
But yeah,
only had to ban one person, right?
So far only one person. But yeah, we appreciate everybody watching, and we'll catch you on the next video, guys. See you next time.
See you guys.
Have a good one.